Jimmy Butler, Jason Jackson, Miami Heat Television. What was the most contributive factor to you as you solidified this decision to be here?
To tell you the truth, it's the culture that I hear about all the time. You know, the work that you put in every single day, the winning habits, the winning ways. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of that? I was excited to have an opportunity to come here, to be here. But I mean, when I keep hearing about this culture, I was like, I need that in my life.
Hey, Jimmy, Tim Reynolds with the Associated Press. You had said, I think it was maybe in the interview with Rachel after the practice up in Minnesota, that you wanted to feel like you were wanted. Somebody say, we want you, we need you, we want to build around you. What did
I
they
didn't say that.
What part did I get wrong?
I didn't say all of that. I didn't say nothing. I want to build around you. But I get what you're saying.
What did the Heat say on June 30th that appeased what you needed to hear from somebody?
Just you're the type of player that we would love to have here. You know, your fight, the way that you work, the way you go about your business, and to tell you the truth, that's all I wanted to hear. Not to mention that, you know, number 3 was like, you know, this culture fits you. He's told me that for so many days beforehand, but I think that guy and seeing what he helped build here, and I never want to compare myself to him, but I think that what they have going on here, the way that they go about everything here is the right way, and that's what I'm banking on, that we continue to do that indefinitely while I'm here.
Jimmy, you talk about the culture leading up the signing here. What has it been like? I know camp hasn't even started yet. What has it been like these past few months, and since you've gone back into town, just being around the facility and the guys?
It's been great. A lot of work, a lot of early mornings, late nights, being around the guys, and even more competing. I think that's the most important part. When you have guys that's with each other every single day, ready to fight through the good and through the bad, that's what you want in an organization, and teammates, and the coaching staff. I think everybody here wants everybody to be great. We're constantly pushing one another and constantly helping each other be successful, man. That's what it's been like these last couple of weeks, last couple of days.
Dave Hyde of the Sun Sentinel in Fort Lauderdale. Could you talk any specific items of the culture that you're talking about? Anything when you say this is okay, this is what I want?
I like that we, I hope Spo doesn't get on me about this. I like that our shoot-arounds are what they're supposed to be. You breaking a sweat. I like that we competing in practice every single day. I like that every time we step onto this court, there's a certain way you have to look. There's a certain mentality you have to have. It's never you just stepping on here just to go through the motions. I think that's how I got to where I am in the league today. It was never, I'm just coming into this, going through the motions, I'll be okay. It was always a grind, always a fight. And I think when you look up and down our roster, the guys we have go about it the same way.
Jimmy, Ethan Skolnick, 5 Reasons Sports. It seems like you've already started to take some of the young guys under your wing, whether it's working out with Tyler or that photo that went everywhere with Justice, and Bam said you contacted him on his birthday. Is that something that you want to do here from a leadership perspective to kind of establish yourself early?
I mean, that's just people being people. I don't think that's, a leadership deal. I just want to get to know my guys. It's not hard to get guys in the gym with you here because they want to work. They want to wake up early. They want to come back late at night. They love the grind. As far as hitting somebody on their birthday, I'm sure you get plenty of texts on your birthday as well. It's just the norm. But we got guys that are happy, want to be here. So we want everybody to feel like a family. We want everybody to be comfortable.
Jimmy, Cameron Wolfe, ESPN. I know you guys were about one shot in Philly from winning the Eastern Conference or getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Was there anything they could have done to bring you back?
Man, tell you the truth, I don't even think about it. I'm here. I'm locked in on that. I do get that question a lot, and I tell everybody the same answer. We don't know what could have been. We don't. So I leave it at that. I am a player for the Miami Heat. So that's what I'm locked in on.
Jimmy Butler, Chris Fisher, NBC Miami. How much did the impact of seeing the fans, the outpouring of support for Dwayne Wade and that goodbye ceremony have an impact on you in signing with the Heat?
Oh, it had a lot. The fans here are amazing. You know, obviously for that particular individual, it was always special, and just seeing him go out on his terms, it was incredible. And you know, we laughed and we joked throughout the whole game, but just seeing him compete at a high level was phenomenal. But the fans embraced him, the way that he worked, the person he was, obviously the player that he was, all the winning that he's done. I want to be a part of it. I've seen it over the years. You know, back in my Chicago days, it was Chicago versus Miami. It was always you had to go through Miami. I'd like to make that happen again.
Jimmy Arrow Winderman from the Sun Sentinel. When there's an iconic legend in a franchise and sort of your next man up, obviously even you, I'm sure you heard when you were in Chicago, the whole following Michael, it took sort of forever to get going there. How do you sort of balance your friendship with Dwayne, the legacy, including his jersey to be hanging there eventually one day, you wanting to follow in his successful footsteps, but also appreciating the magnitude of that man?
Yeah, I don't compare myself to Mike, D-Wade, none of those guys. I'm not them. We have a lot of things in common, but I can't be those guys. I am who I am, but they help me in so many different ways. Like D-Wade helps me to concentrate on the work, on basketball, but he's also like a friend, a brother, and we talk about so much more than just basketball. But you know, all I want to do is continue to pick up where he left off. Keep this culture going in the right direction, fighting, competing, because that's what we talk about. You know, he loved the work. He still loves the work now. I think he's enjoying the life that he's definitely deserving and built for himself. But as far as comparing, nah, I try to stay away from that.
Years ago, you said the one thing you never wear is a Heat jersey. How much has that been brought up, and when did that change? Did it start with Dwayne? Is that kind of when things started to change as far as?
Yeah, that. But man, I remember that quote. I remember the day, and like I said, it was like Chicago. We had to get through y'all, which we never really did. But Tibbs instilled that in us. We hated you guys. We definitely did, and that's how I want it to be whenever I'm here. I want other teams to hate us. You don't want to play Miami. You know it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a dogfight. And that's what it was whenever I was back in Chicago when that quote happened. But now you know. You never know where you're going to end up at the end of the day.
Jimmy, since we don't get to see practices, what's real and what's a little bit exaggerated about the ferocity that you seem to practice and scrimmage with? How real are those stories about when you kind of go into that mode?
I just hoop. Talk a little bit. But I love to compete, and I want my guys to know I'm not bad at what I do. I can play basketball a little bit. And I think sometimes you gotta let them know. I think I'm me. I'm my purest form, and I probably get carried away a little bit, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it lets guys know you gotta go at them. Don't back down from it. Tyler doesn't. I love that kid. You know, I talk as much as I talk to him, and he's coming back with it every time. But yeah, whenever I'm out there, if I don't got something to say, I probably got a lot to say.
Jimmy, Jose Pineda, Miami Heat Spanish Radio. You talked about the culture here, and part of the culture is our community and how the Heat is ingrained in this community. We saw you a couple months ago in iconic Calle Ocho and Domino Park.
I'm the best at dominoes, by the way.
Is it double six or double nine? First of all,
double six.
And talk about your adventure there and what you did there, and how's your Spanish?
Spanish is next to terrible. But I think the experience there with the people is what I love more than anything, because I love people. And Miami has a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures, which I want to figure out and learn more about. But I like talking to people only because I think everybody has their own unique story. And here, you can learn a lot about the city, and what makes this city so unique and so special are the people. So as you see me in the community, as you see me out at a restaurant, like I want to talk. I'll probably talk more than you want to talk. So yeah, come on up, let's do it.
Jimmy, you're known for having a strong personality, which some people embrace, other people have difficulty with also. Can you sort of take us through, one, do you realize you have a strong personality? Does it take a unique teammate to sort of work with you? What's that like when you're so intensely intense in what you do? And are there times even you back up and realize, like, whoa, I really kind of went strong there?
I mean, yeah. I think I'm a little extra at times. I don't think not too much wrong with that either. But like if you do what I do every day, and other people don't go about it that way, I think you might have a problem with it too. I love my job. I love the game. I love to work. So I'm at it every single day, at hours, at times when people don't want to do it. So I think, like, why doesn't everybody do what I do? And to this day, I just don't understand it. I really don't. Will I ever understand it? Probably not. Will I overreact? Probably so. But that's me. And to tell you the truth, here, hell, you always got people trying to beat me to the gym. You always got people that are in here late at night that are constantly working on their game, studying film, doing all that they can to be the best basketball player that they can for the Miami Heat. And I'll still hold them to the same caliber that I have everybody else. Like, we got to work, because when the game's on the line, your confidence is coming from your work. Everything that you put in every day, that's what's going to come out. I preach that, I live by that, and I'll continue to be that.
Jimmy, where do you want to take your game now? Now that you've hit your 30s, you're a vet.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Reminded me I turned 30.
What are the parts of your game? I know you're trying to work on everything, but are there particular parts of your game you think you can develop as you kind of go into your 30s to keep yourself a really effective player?
I mean, whatever Spo tells me to do to help win, I better be able to do it. Like you said, I do work on every part of my game. Stanley Remy helps me a lot. He's a great individual. What's up, Stan? So, you know, as long as we're in here, as long as I'm in here with the coaches, like I said, Spo tells me to dribble the ball, dribble it. Tells me to shoot it, I'll shoot it. If he tells me to pass it, I'll pass it too.
Kind of a non-heat one.
Here we go.
Well, no, nothing. Trust me, after the World Cup, a bunch of guys like Steph, Draymond, Clay came out and said that Japan interested next summer, having gone through the Olympic experience once, would you be willing to think about that again? Is that something you'd consider?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Once again, if the time presents itself, if I'm healthy and ready to go, which I think that I would be, I'll have no problem going over there and doing that. So when that time gets here, we'll see what we got.
I don't know if you gave pushback or you just said you didn't say that you weren't the guy you wanted a team to build around, but where do you stand on that? Do you come here in part to, at least it was out there that you came here in part to be the guy franchise can build around?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's out there. It's just how deep you want to read into it, you know. I don't think I'm that bad of a guy. I'm not like everybody thinks that I am. But the team that we have here, it's not about who you build around. It's just the guys that you have on the team. We got a lot of good players that can do a lot of things well. So who cares who we build around? As long as you win a championship, nobody's really talking about who you build around. It's all about the pieces that you have. And I think we have all the right pieces. Build around anybody. Who cares? Just win at the end of the day. And that's what we're here to do.
Jimmy, Brad Bachman from CBS Sports. Just all the talk about the locker room stuff and the culture, it seems to kind of get overblown a lot with you. Like, just from a pure basketball standpoint, where you fit in when you look up and down this roster, kind of a two-part question. Justice has talked about he wants to play point guard. He likes that idea of having the ball in his hands. Does he remind you at all of a young you, a tough guy, defensive-minded guy who's growing as an offensive player and a shooter? And then two, did your experience playing with Ben and another guy that handles the ball, and you guys having to balance that, do you think you can bring that to Miami with their multiple playmakers?
Yeah, without a doubt. But, I mean, what is a point guard nowadays? You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can bring the ball up the court and initiate offense. But I think we have so many guys that could be a quote-unquote point guard because they can make other guys better. Yeah, you can balance it, you know. The whole thing is just making everybody happy, everybody okay with their role. I like Justice in that position. He's smart. He's aggressive. He can guard. He can switch with anybody. He damn sure doesn't back down from anybody. And I'm gonna be okay with wherever I'm at. Like I said, my job is to be here to help win. Now, Spo's job is to, you know, who's the point guard, big guard, as we say here, and then all the way down the line. Like I said, I just hoop. I don't think about positions. I just hoop.
Jimmy, you talked a little earlier about wanting to know everybody's story, and you know you've got an incredible story. What do you think? I guess can you quantify what Tom Ball and growing up in that area has impacted you and essentially your decision making?
Oh, I'm still country at heart. You know, it's hard for me to live in the city. I always got to live out somewhere. I think that the way that I do everything is I always had to work whenever I was in Tomball. I had to work whenever I was in junior college. I had to work when I was in Marquette, all the way up till now. So that's all that I know, and I don't know how to turn back from that. So that's what I do every day. I stay around the same people. We play dominoes, Uno. I'm the best paddle player out of the group. You know, there's a deputy in here somewhere. I'm not going to point him out, but I am the sheriff at paddle. He's back there. It's James. Hey, Dom, what's up? But that's what we do. You know, we have fun. We stick to basketball when we need to stick to basketball. But then we really stay to ourselves.
Jimmy, in your early work with a lot of the guys around here, particularly some of the younger guys, Bam, has there any, Tyler too, you've talked about, has there been anything about their games that maybe you didn't expect that was kind of a pleasant surprise?
I mean, with Tyler, man, that kid got some to him. Like, he always got something to say. Like, legit, he always has something to say, and I respect it because that shows me he got that fight. He's not backing down from anybody. Whether you're on his team or against him in practice, or as you'll see soon enough, that when you're going against everybody else, he's never going to back down. And then, you know, you got all these other guys, Bam, just like how hard he plays, the motor, how personable he is, always joking around, always talking. That goes down the line. But I think more than anybody is I saw the other day, man, Duncan can shoot the hell out of the ball. Like, incredible shooter. And being around him, you'd think that he was quiet, but he's not. He's yapping as well, which I like because that just puts a battery in my back and gives me free reign to go at everybody. So I'm loving it here. Everybody talks, nobody takes nothing personal. It's all about winning. We compete, and we do a lot of talking.
I think that's enough. You got enough, man?
I'm good.
This is Jimmy Butler, everybody.
Oh, my gosh.
And you get to get him one-on-one, but I get him first.
I want to really welcome you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Okay. Yeah, man. Thank you. Okay. You guys got a one-on-one, and then you get me. Okay.
I'm done.
You're done. Yeah, but no, you're not done yet.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.